Imagine going to sleep in the wealthiest, most advanced city on Earth, surrounded by massive palaces and thousands of people.
But when the sun rises, everyone is gone. No bodies, no signs of war, just an empty, terrifying silence.
Over 3,000 years ago, the Minoan Empire, an advanced civilization of over 100,000 people, vanished completely overnight. At the peak of their power, they were ruled by King Theron, a man viewed as a god walking among mortals.
He controlled the seas and hosted feasts of unimaginable wealth. But this arrogance made them blind to the danger beneath their feet.
It started with the water. The sea suddenly pulled back from the shoreline, exposing miles of dead coral and stranded ships. Small tremors began to shake the island. At first, it was just enough to rattle the gold plates on the tables.
But soon, deep cracks started to split the polished marble floors of the Grand Palace, spreading panic among the elite citizens.
King Theron consulted his highest priests, offering massive sacrifices in the dark temples, begging the gods for the shaking to stop.
Stop the shaking!
But the gods weren't angry. A massive volcano on a nearby island was acting like a ticking time bomb, preparing to detonate.
The citizens finally realized something catastrophic was coming. They grabbed whatever they could carry and ran blindly through the stone streets.
And then, the world ended. The volcano exploded with unimaginable force, blasting millions of tons of ash into the black sky.
The blast was so loud it deafened people hundreds of miles away. The sun vanished, replaced by a suffocating storm of black ash.
But the falling ash wasn't the true killer. The collapse of the volcano created a megatsunami over 150 feet tall.
King Theron stood on his balcony as the towering wall of water blocked out the horizon. His mighty empire was about to be erased.
The waves struck with the force of 1,000 storms. The grand palaces and massive fleets were crushed like fragile wooden toys.
In mere minutes, the coastal cities were dragged into the crushing abyss. Those who fled to the mountains starved beneath the toxic ash.
For thousands of years, the Minoan civilization was completely forgotten. They became nothing more than a myth, a bedtime story whispered by the Greeks. In fact, many historians now believe that this terrifying sudden disappearance is the true historical inspiration behind the legendary Lost City of Atlantis. It wasn't until the early 20th century that archaeologists finally uncovered the shocking truth hidden beneath the earth on the island of Crete. They dug through meters of volcanic rock and found grand throne rooms, advanced plumbing, and gold artifacts perfectly preserved in the frozen rubble. But the most chilling discovery wasn't what they found. It was what they didn't find. There were almost no human remains.
Where did the bodies go? Were they vaporized by the extreme heat, or were tens of thousands sucked out into the deep ocean? We may never know the full truth of their final terrifying moments, but the Chronolith remembers. Subscribe and never forget the past.